What up, Naughty Steppers? Connor Whitmore here again with another review for you on the Nawtystep channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the new EP from Knife Party, released on Earstorm Records, Lost Souls. Rob Swire and Gareth McGrillen are back with their first original multi-track collection since 2015, releasing a few tunes in the time since, with their focus mostly occupied elsewhere. The legendary band Pendulum, of which Swire and McGrillen are key figures, coming into the bass limelight once again, with live shows all over the world and a remix album, not to mention rumblings of a full-length LP in the not too distant future. Fans of Knife Party were somewhat forgiving in the knowledge that Pendulum would be releasing their first work since 2011. So it therefore comes as something of a surprise that Swire and McGrillen are suddenly back with this 4-song EP. Not to say it isn't welcomed, I feel anything from these two is always something to massively look forward to. But it does seem interesting, perhaps even remarkable, that they've managed to put this thing together in amidst everything else going on. Nevertheless, here we are, a chance for Swire and McGrillen to reclaim the glory days of 2012 to 2014. Trigger warning and what followed up until now, not quite hitting the mark in comparison to their spellbinding stuff of the earlier years. And so, does Lost Souls see the Knife Party concept back to its best? Not really, no. Lost Souls, more than anything, is a reminder of where the Knife Party sound has been taken, not what it's best for. With a few nice moments here and there, but ultimately hardly anything to really wow you. In terms of where their sound has been taken, what it has become if you will, it seems more skeletal, not quite as full, which we saw none of on Abandoned Ship, but a fair bit of on their more recent stuff. Thinking of Battle Sirens, the Blood Sugar remix, parts of Trigger Warning, a lot of which was markedly empty for them. And it's something that carries over here into their genre experimentation across this EP. This is for me most evident in the most identifiable Knife Party track on Lost Souls, the opener, No Saint. It opens the EP in a punchy, upbeat, semi-thrilling way, great purpose to it, really gets you in the mood. And I like how each drop develops, how they layer with percussion and samples over time, quite an infectious vibe. But honestly, my enjoyment of it stops there. More of note to me is the serious lack of oomph on this song. The drops do progress well, as I said, but the initial releases have no impact. The transitioning into both drops is pretty weak. Just a bit bare, doesn't hit me in any way. I hear the Knife Party sound, but the execution just isn't there. And although it's a completely different song altogether, I could say very similar things for the title track. I get the concept of this song, it's a slight jab at the headbanger community, with of course a couple of RIDDIM drops. But similar to the RIDDIM attempt on the Troy Boy and Skrillex collaboration from a few weeks back, this does just feel a little bit basic. Not a lot going on, not fleshed out, needs unleashing, a bit bland, points where it even sounds awkward and almost amateurish. Same problem with No Saint, in that you can hear the intention, but there just isn't enough to it. End of. I did, however, enjoy the introduction, the way it starts pretty seriously before the satire of it slowly unravels.
Since we left these dark nights in Africa and escaped to the security of our armchairs, we had forgotten the horror. Night after night, thousands of crows migrate into the area. Each night, a nightmare. In appearance, they are like dogs. But these strange animals' nearest relative is the mongoose.
Decent bad. The simultaneous creepiness and hilarity is a nice contrast. All of the animal imagery and tribal, primal percussion really works. That contrast arguably felt most in the midsection though, following that dreamy, alluring sequence with...
Sorry man, jungle is all the same to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure what's being said there, but I assume it's funny. And at the very end, we get a distant cry of... which is well done, I rate that. Emptiness and barrenness are also apparent on the final cut Ghost Train, but in a more effective way than the first two. The industrial techno, tech house approach being, for me, the most interesting Knife Party experiment since Abandoned Ship. The progressions to each drop are quite flat and inactive, and the original drops come across as a bit weird. But I find them so out there as a combination of sounds that I think they deserve appreciating in some way. The pounding kick with that jungle terror squeal is unsettling yet intriguing, kind of tune that would be epic live. I've just got the image of that techno Viking in my head. The second drop in particular, with the vocal sample running through it, more frantic but still controlled, is well done. The way that it slowly leaves its mark on you without doing too much, impending and threatening, is welcomed. Also, the plethora of train samples throughout, top notch. But this leads me nicely onto track 3, Death and Desire, which I find to be mile and away the most complete song on the EP. This is euphoric Knife Party in full flow, a proper classy club tune that just does so many things right. I love the cheeky, plucked guitar that runs through the track, really bouncy and warm in feel, invites you to groove along with it. And the drops are pure reaching for the heaven stuff, arms stretched out, head back, very genuine and full of life. In particular, I love that fuzzy, fervent synth that pierces through in each drop, so much character and direction, lovely on the ear. Oh, what a tune, what a tune. I appreciate Harrison's vocal, the way it opens the track up, giving it this noughties Ibiza pop sort of appeal. But I am left wondering how it would sound with Rob on vocal duty. Not to take away from Harrison, but it seemed like an obvious fit. It's a very good song, got that similar anthem vibe to Begin Again, but not quite that level because it just needs a little more substance all round. Really, all the tunes are quite different, and in essence I find the second half to be better than the first. And I feel the overall interpretation of Lost Souls will be pretty mixed because of how much ground it covers across the EP. Some will like the more classic Knife Party approach of No Saint, others the skeletal tech appeal of Ghost Train, the headbangers, the title track. Although actually perhaps not, because they are being mocked somewhat. It's an experimental EP. If you're looking for Knife Party at their most sinister and evil, you simply won't get that here. It's as if they've reached an impasse with the heaviness and daring delivery of their ideas, which we originally loved them for. Trying out different genres of course, but it's very straightforward stuff for the most part. I'm more accepting where they are as opposed to enjoying it. A continuation of a lot of their recent stuff that just doesn't really hit the right mark. The whole concept just seems a bit starved. Maybe I shouldn't expect so much, or even take it that seriously. They've given us such exceptional music in the past, and maybe it is just a stopgap for Pendulum. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't want the Knife Party project to go to waste in the process of that, and I feel that's what's happening slightly here. It's 4 solid ideas, wouldn't say it seems rushed, but it's very, very far from their best. Their staple devilishness is nowhere to be found. And I will listen to it again and again because it's them, but will I get that much more out of it? Perhaps, but I'm not so sure. Now in terms of my favourite on the EP, then I think I would have to go with Death and Desire. It's the most complete for me, from structure to execution, catchy moments, great musicality, a very good track. And in terms of recommendations, if you enjoyed the EP, then I would just look at recent Knife Party, particularly on the ideas and execution front. And so there we have it, my thoughts on the new Knife Party EP, Lost Souls. What did you make of the EP? Do you have a favourite track from the 4? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, then be sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell along the way, social media accounts in the description box down below. For some other EP reviews on the channel, check out the link next to my head somewhere. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure, as always, to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace out.